Can spot a married woman a mile away. A mile away. I don't even need to see her ring. I don't need to see her man. She don't have to tell me. I can look at her and tell inevitably if she's married, especially in real life. And what proved that to me online was the discourse around the wife who was not interested in girls' trips as a married woman. That's her business. I don't care about that. What stood out to me were the women in the comments and stitches of that video in the comments showing off themselves on girls' trips who are also married. And it has a look. Every married woman has a married look. It's a very homey energy. And I don't mean that in an endearing way, but I don't mean that in a negative way either. I think there are exceptions due to lifestyle and class. Two high profile figures that I think represent this very well or paint a picture of what I'm trying to say is Beyonce and Coco Austin. Both high profile females, both have experience in long term relationships, but there's a finite distinction between the individuality of a woman who just so happens to be married and a woman who is deep set in her marriage who is a wife, if that makes sense. There are exceptions, but on average the average woman you can tell is a wife if she's married.
Absolutely, absolutely. Shout out to the content creator. I thought this was a great point. Um, Obviously I'm married, and it's funny because like me and my wife kind of have an inside joke about like she has a beautiful ring, absolutely beautiful. Shout out to me for putting that ring together, and she constantly get compliments on it, right? But I would say this, right? This is how I look at it. To the point of the video about being able to spot a married woman. So my background is in retail, right? Retail management. I've done 15 years of it. And when I was working in retail, we had this thing where you spot the manager, right? Spot the manager. So the thing was, hey, if everybody takes off their name tag, would a customer come to you and say, hey, manager, can you help me? Right? Even though you may be a clerk, you may just be a basic associate, but because of your energy, because of your look, because of your demeanor, because of your aura, you would give off as, hey, this is somebody that's in charge. This is somebody who resonates with that leadership energy around them. And that's the same thing for a married woman, right? Or even a confident man. Like everybody knows when a man is very confident, he just has a certain walk to him. He has a certain look on his face, a certain energy about him as he moves into certain rooms and stuff like that. I give that same take to a woman who's married. There's this distinct look on their face, right? There's a certain way they move throughout the world. It's a certain way they speak when they're around certain people or individuals, or no matter where they are. You can tell like their frame. It's like saying a man has a masculine frame, right? I feel like a wife has like a wife frame. There's another saying about women who have a B face, right? I don't want to curse online, but BITCH, right? A B face. It's kind of the same token as that. Like a woman, not saying they have a B face, but in the sense of like their frame, their demeanor, their look, and that's not a negative thing, but there's a certain element to them on the way they energy flow and the way they move, where you can be like, even before you see a ring on their finger, even before you speak to them and they may tell you they married. You see what I'm saying? There's a certain energy and aura around a married woman, especially one that's like comfortable in herself and comfortable in her marriage and she loves her husband. Oh yeah, there's an energy that's pulsating from that woman that lets you know right away that she's married. It's like it's almost like everybody has their own personal walk. You could be waiting at the light in your car, right? Just chilling. You can look over to your right and you can be like, wait, is that my homeboy walking? Right? And you just see him from the back. You like, because everybody has a certain walk. And you can point somebody out right away from just even the way they walk, right? Even the way that you can be in a room just chilling, you can hear somebody speak and be like, wait, that's my homegirl. You see what I'm saying? Just from their vocal tone. So there are certain elements, that's the point I'm getting to. There are certain elements to someone's demeanor, to someone's energy that gives them away on the type of person they are and personality and the way they carry themselves. So I thought the way that she described it was a great point to say you can tell a married woman right away. Now, another point she was making was, and I don't really care too much about this point about, married women going on girls trip and stuff like that. Listen, for the men out there, let me put y'all on game, man. Let me put y'all on game about something. Number one, you don't control no woman. you can't control no woman, right? And let me make sure that I really break this down. A woman gonna do what they want to do regardless, right? They may not tell you, and they may have to sneak it, or they may tell you and don't have to sneak it, right? Now, there's a respect level to it. And I say this to say, like me, I don't care if my wife go on a girl's trip. But I would say, hey, for safety, for a respect thing, hey, do I know the people you going on this trip with? Right? And 9 times out of 10, I do. Right? She's been on a girl's trip with some homegirls from college and stuff like that. Cool. Right? My thing is, when you out anywhere, it only got to be a girl's trip. Are you representing us as a brand? Right? Are you respecting our marriage? Now, for me, I don't have to question that, right? Because I know my wife. But for other men who may be newly married or who may be on some shaky grounds when it comes to their wives, that may be a question for them. You see what I'm saying? But for me, I don't want to feel like I have to suffocate my wife. Listen, if I got to be chasing my wife down, I don't need to be married. That's me. If I had to be constantly checking behind her, worried about what she doing, I'm in the wrong marriage, man. I don't got the energy to do it, right? My thing is, I made sure I vetted my wife, right? Meaning, understand her background, understand how she was raised, right? Understand her personality and this and that, and keep checking the list, right? But for me personally, I'm just not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not, man. Like, my thing is, if that's what any woman wants to do, let alone, again, I'm just use my wife for example, but if that's what she want to do, they going to do it. But my thing is, be real about it, right? If that's, you want to go on this girl trip, and I mean, you hear all the stories about girls going on girl trips and cheating and stuff like that with all the other dudes, but there are a lot of women who don't. You see what I'm saying? And she made the point of saying there's a lot of married women who don't go on these trips because a lot of activities go on that they may not agree with. You follow me? But for me, like I said, girl trip or not, when they out in the world, listen, women, hey, they on point with how they move. Let me just tell you. You see what I'm saying? So, but for me, like, I'm not about to be chasing like Jason. I'm just not, man. I'm just not about to be chasing behind no woman trying to figure out who they seeing and how they moving. Listen, I'm about respect around here, man. But if, like I said, if I got to do all that, I don't need to be married. And I'll say that for any man. Listen, just make sure the wife respect what's going on. And they'll move accordingly. So, because if they love you, if you're on point, you're doing the right thing, and they genuinely desire you as a man that they want, you ain't got nothing to worry about. You have absolutely nothing to worry about, right? If you're on point, doing what you got to do, leading, doing the things the right way. And like I said, they genuinely desire you, meaning they find you attractive, sexually attractive, and they just want you. You see what I'm saying? Then you don't got nothing to worry about. So, but again, like I said, to the point of the video, yes, absolutely, you can spot a married woman a mile away. The same way you can spot a confident man, right? A mile away. You can spot your friend who got a certain walk a mile away. It's just a certain energy that's being given off. So, but with that being said, like I said, I thought it was a great video. Shout out to the content creator. If you got any value from this video, hit the like button, right? Subscribe. And share this video out for anybody who may need to hear this message. And until next time, I appreciate y'all. Much love. Peace.